Hi everyone, it's James Myers. Today I want to wrap up 2025 real estate statistics with a look at the year-round numbers for Barrie and the surrounding areas. I'll be sharing my usual breakdowns based on property type and area, but before I get into these numbers, I want to share a bit of context on how to read into these statistics. If you've been watching my videos for a while now, you'll know that when I see a statistic that seems unusually high or unusually low, I'll usually dig into that number to find out why it is so abnormal. And that is because statistics aren't perfect. Real estate is not a bunch of identical transactions. Every house is different, every buyer is different, every seller is different. So therefore, every situation is different. So yes, averages are helpful, but they don't always tell the full story. A good example of this comes up in Innisfil. In Innisfil, we have a community called Sandy Cove Acres. It's a senior-focused community where the houses are built on leased land. You don't own the land, you pay a monthly land lease fee to the landowner. You're renting the land. However, because you don't own the land, these houses sell for much less than typical detached houses. Like, I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars less. In Sandy Cove Acres, you can buy in there for $250,000, $350,000, whereas that same typical comparable detached house on a freehold property would be $700,000 or $800,000 or $900,000. But on the real estate board, those Sandy Cove Acres houses are still classified as detached houses. So if several homes in Sandy Cove Acres sell, like 3 or 4 or 5 of them, within the span of a month, and there was only 30 sales or 25 sales that month, that can really pull down the average price of a detached house in that month. Another statistic that I want to touch on is days on the market. Right now, the average number of days it takes for a house to sell may seem high compared to 3 or 4 years ago at the peak of the market. But historically speaking, the current days on the market is not unusual at all. If we go back 10 or 15 years ago, the average number of days on the market for a detached property in Barrie was consistently between 43, 47 days. It was like that for years. That was normal. We are now creeping back to normal. What we experienced since 2020 is actually the exception. That's not the rule. So as I go through these year-end statistics, keep in mind that statistics provide context. They don't necessarily replace a property-by-property individual analysis of your house. Your home, your location, your situation are what matters most. Now let's get into the year-end breakdown. Simcoe County, all home types in 2025, the average price was $803,560. That's a drop of 4.7%. Number of sales was actually up, over 7,200 sales. Last year there were less than 7,000. Number of new listings was up to over 23,000. The days on the market was also up to 41. Detached houses in Barrie, average price $806,892. That's down 4.8%. Number of sales, 1,215. That's down as well. Last year there were over 1,300. Number of new listings is up, and days on the market is up as well. Townhouses in Barrie, average price $623,615. That's a decrease of 4.2%. 296 sales, that's down from last year as well. Number of new listings, 766. Days on the market, that's increased as well to 29. Condominium apartments in Barrie, average price $515,420. That's a drop of about 5%. 277 sales, that's lower as well. Number of new listings was 1,062. Days on the market is up to 45. So let's wrap it up as usual with Innisfil detached properties. The average price for a detached property in Innisfil in 2025 was $946,204. That's an increase, yes, I said increase, of 1.9%. There's Innisfil doing strange things again. Number of properties sold, 524. That's down from last year. Number of new listings, 2,107. That's higher. Days on the market, that's also higher. So all these numbers for Innisfil are higher than they were last year, including the price. So there you have my wrap-up video for statistics for 2025 for the Simcoe County and area real estate market. As you can see, prices are down around 5% across the board, except for Innisfil, which is up a little bit, Innisfil detached houses. So the real estate market is not falling apart. The sales volume is lower, the number of new listings is up, but that's compared to 2 or 3 years ago when things were crazy. Compare this to 10 or 15 years ago, things are doing okay. Prices only dropped 5%, considering they went up 15-20% per year in 2021, 2022, 5% loss, it's not so bad. But if you bought your house in 2021, 2022, the chances are pretty good that you're upside down in the value of your house. The real estate market is not falling apart. This is just a little adjustment. As always, if you have questions about these numbers or how they apply to your specific house, I'm happy to help. If you're thinking of buying and selling, my contact information is in the description down below.